Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. Did you really think that this derpy face right here, would be able to get to the top of this leaderboard? No, you have been baited. There is no way I'm ever going to beat a score like this, because I am terrible at flying. There is only one way that I could possibly get to the top of the scoreboard, and that is if I created a new one. I had an idea the other day that amused me greatly. To fly the course in reverse. Okay, well that's not the amusing part. I mean, that's just a cool idea, right? We've been flying it one way, why don't we try it in reverse and see what happens? The amusing idea was then to turn that into like a second way to play this, right? And so, if we create another scoreboard here, I could go straight to the top of it by flying the course in reverse with a terrible time that someone will immediately come along and knock me off of, right? This is the only way I'm ever going to win something through flying, because I've practiced this many times and I'm absolutely awful at it. So this is also a blind run. I've played the course many times going forward but not going backwards. One of the first things that you're going to notice is that I'm just gracefully taking my time. And that's because I actually really struggle to fly very fast. And since I'm the first one doing it this way, and I know that my time will be top, then I get to take my time and make sure that I do this without hitting any of the loops, which is actually No! What's that mean if I fall into the water? That felt so wrong. I was gracefully flying through the air, and then all of a sudden, oh jeez, make sure I go through it properly. I think it's going to be the equivalent of hitting one of these loops, right? So it'll be like a second long deduction. Oh, that's really tricky. And this one over here is kind of crazy as well. I'm going to use a rocket. Oh, there we go. When the pressure is not on, and you can take your time with this, it is quite pleasurable. I didn't hit the ground there. What are you talking about? Yep, this is all evidence of how I'll never get a top scoreboard position unless I create my own. I'm terrible at this. Look at me hitting everything. I'm also starting to struggle to remember where the route goes because it's in reverse. Now I know we're going to turn a corner here. Yep. I'm going to gracefully glide so I can look downwards. This is definitely challenging. Man, I'd love to see what someone like Grian does with this, because he is obviously the master of this. Now I'm going to take a moment to fly around and eat because my hearts have gone way down. My time is going to be absolutely terrible, but I'm going to enjoy the time spent at the top of the leaderboard before anyone else comes and does this in reverse. Jeez, that was the worst flying ever. Oh my goodness me. You know, maybe I didn't consider that I'm making a complete fool of myself right now. And, jeez, that made me physically duck downwards. You know, it is a computer game. There's another one here, isn't there? Okay, let's get a little bit of boost here. And then through this one, and then this one always really caught me out, and I don't like that I'm having to use a rocket, and that is because I don't know where the next one is. Oh my goodness me, there it is, I've spotted it. Okay, and I've hit the ground again. No, I've hit it like 3 times. Oh my goodness me. Okay, that was literally terrible. I did it! I can't believe I managed to do it! It took me so many attempts. Oh, look at all these rockets and golden carrots that I've burned through. I am truly the worst at this. I really am. I'm awful at this game. But I have schemed my way to the top of a leaderboard that I added myself. Oh, jeez, that was fun. That was fun. Speaking of the leaderboard, as you can see, I have expanded the original one and split it in two halves using some color coding. We got normal mode over on this side and reverse mode, the super difficult, very challenging, only for experts. No, okay. Enough of that. Yeah, here's my terrible pathetic score, but you know, I'm technically top for now of that scoreboard that I added myself. This joke is getting old, right? I've also added Grian up the top here, and now that I think about it, I'm going to owe Grian some diamonds because I probably did about maybe 13 or 14 runs. Let's go for 15 right there. Yeah, we'll chuck 15 diamonds in the box since I spent a fair amount of time doing that, and I'll put the rest of these back into here. Speaking of diamonds, I would have expected to turn off the faucet on my main moneymaker, the shop over here with all the wool. I have actually made 2 sales though, that's all that I've made. 2 diamonds, oh jeez. It makes sense with the free wool, but I do wonder who is coming over here and buying some now that it is free. Speaking of wondering, many of you left comments wondering how much XP was stored in the furnaces here at Tower Bay before I swapped them over to smokers. I didn't really think about that. I could have got some free XP out of this. And right now we're on a backup of the world from when we actually had the furnaces still here. So we are about to find out. I'm going to tear through each of these and we're going to see how much XP was stored in total. So, 135 levels in total. That would have been quite the treat, but I just hastily ripped all of those furnaces out of there, didn't I? Replacing them with smokers, not even thinking about how much XP would have been stored. And speaking of stored XP, I can't even tell you how much we've stored because the farms are off at the moment. And before I turn them on, I'm going to turn down my game sound. Okay, this is much better. Now these pistons aren't ripping out my eardrums. There is a lot of pistons activating around here. You may notice that some of this looks ever so slightly different. That's because I had to actually change a lot of stuff around the back here. Turns out that my items were getting caught on the hoppers, and that's because I hadn't aligned them up. So now what we have here are the items getting pushed all the way to the very far side before they make their way across. The bamboo over there is doing the same thing in the opposite direction. That means I had to refinagle, and I think I even rebuilt the entirety of this thing over by a couple of blocks. We've also got a way better clock right here. This one will dispense every single item regardless of even if it's filled all the way up, and it will do it faster than the clock that we had attached to this before. So this is the better way to do a dropper clock. Now, speaking of that transition, we can actually see how much XP is stored. Yeah, we're up to somewhere around here so far. I could have swore it was a little bit further along. That seems to be where the bamboo is smelting. Yeah, this one's completely backed up. So we're up to those 2, and I had spent quite a lot of time AFKing. We're going to need possibly more of these in the long run if hermits are going to use them frequently, you know. Anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. I wanted to show you what's going on around the back here with these hoppers. Like I said, I had some issues with the items getting caught in them. It's pretty easy to explain actually. If I just go ahead and fill this up with a different item to what I put on top, we can kind of simulate what happens here where the hoppers are full and they're no longer picking up the items going across. Now because they were going down the middle, it meant that they could actually catch and get caught inside of the hitbox of the dropper. So this is actually sitting below where the water would go over the top. So by pushing it against the side of a block, it means that the items are moving along this bit right here, so they never actually fall into the middle of the hopper. So that's taking care of that problem. And we will be doing some more work on this project in this episode, but right now there's something else that I'd like to show you. Something that you've probably seen quite a few times on the server. No, it's not this creeper over here. How did you get there, buddy? How did you get there? I'm standing right by. And that area should be spawn-proof. I've got torches all over it. So I had the opportunity to AFK for quite some time. This repeater right here actually locked out. I should have just left it. It was sort of stuck on, which is kind of worrying. So we might have to send an occasional update to that if it happens again. And also around here, can you see how there is 2 hopper chains leading into the same spot? Well, that's because 3 of these couldn't keep up with the previous dispensing system that I had. This one is faster, but it also can't keep up as well. So what I might have to do is find a way to shimmy in some redstone and actually have 2 of these in this area, because as you can see, it's currently backing up, which ain't too good. But that's not what we're going to be doing right now. I'm sure we'll be back here later on in this episode to continue work on the project. We're going to go to another place where I need to keep the volume down low, because there is the sound of withers. It's the 100 wither fight arena. I'm going to take you over there and show you the latest on what's happening. But first, let's have a little recap, because some of you might have been like, what? 100 withers? Are you crazy? Yeah, we do crazy things on this server. Welcome, my fellow hermits, to a fight against 100 withers. There are just 4 of us, and that makes me slightly scared. Okay.
I love the new potion icons, by the way.
Okay.
Awesome.
Here we go. Oh, I could actually see that. I could actually see the room.
Oh man, look at that. Yeah, I am taking some damage.
Oh, they all just started moving upwards. Oh, why did they do that? Oh, they're shooting at me.
Major frame and shoot. Oh man, they're forming like a wither tornado. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I saw that.
Not quite.
What
This
the
is
heck?
nuts.
So yeah, we set off 100 withers, and you know me, there's definitely something wrong with my brain. I have been looking at the amount of nether stars we got back from these withers, and thinking that we're approaching the full amount because of a stack. But of course it's 100 withers, which means we're not even halfway there yet. But anyway, I pop over here every now and then to fight a few withers. I've been doing it on live streams. The area is less laggy. Oh, and goodness me, am I glad I opened this chest, because I need to swap this stuff out. We have 2 sets of god armor, so I can spend a fair bit of time over here clearing out a few more of them. And I was starting to think we were getting to the last of them, but there might be 50 or more left in this area. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, it's somewhere down here that there is a place I wanted to show all of you. I think it's this spot right here. There's loads of them clustered up in the bedrock, but it looks like they've actually moved on from that. There's now just 2 of them over there. Huh. So where the rest of them are, I'm not entirely sure. We've got one up there as well. Okay, let's try and get the attention of a few of these and take them out. This guy's hanging out in the lava. How's that working for you? Okay, now you're coming after me. I can hear them. They're getting closer. But notice how I don't have instant mine here. We are out of range of the beacons now, which is scary because it means the fight in this area is going to be very dangerous. Yep, here they are, getting all locked down at bedrock level. There's probably more in this area. Yep, there's another one up there, or is that the same one? There's also some diamonds. Don't think I'm going to go snag those because we're in dangerous territory. But yeah, this is kind of a big problem now. The withers have gone away from the range of the beacon, and here I was thinking I'd come over and kill the last of them. They're still a huge problem. I really do want to get all of these taken care of before the season is over, you know. This is kind of a very effective way of killing the wither because it's not actually hitting me right now. Don't know if you caught that. And there's another one immediately after it. So in light of realizing that we're nowhere near close to killing all of them, I wanted to find them with my camera count. So we've got 3 over there, 2 right in front of us at this spot, 1 up here above those 2. This one here would be the 7th wither, and we have an 8th one just up here. In this spot I can see numbers 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 just chilling out down the bottom. We've got a 14th one over in this spot. Aha, way off over here there is a 15th one that came probably down from the surface, so they could have gone anywhere when they were up here. Well, I'm going to spend more time doing this because this tunneling method is absolutely fantastic. I've just killed a couple more over here, so let me get the attention of the next one, and you'll just see how effective this is. Okay, that's good. Right, now let's bring you back to the tunnel. So now I got it where I want it. Look at this. Just hang out here. It destroys the first row of blocks, but it never actually hits me. And then I can just walk up to it and give it a tap with the old axe. Look at this area. The withers have been through here, obviously. And I think there's one somewhere just down here. I can hear it from the surface. Yikes. And a surface fight is always a tricky one. So I lured it back into the cave. It's always easier to fight it when it's in close proximity. I wasn't recording, but it was rather intense being underground with my last night vision potion running out and running out of food at the very same time. But I've managed to kill a ton of withers, but there's still so many more out here. Anyway, I'm just heading back towards the beacons. That's about all I can do at the moment. So here we go. There could either be a big cave at the bottom of this, or it's one of the pathways back to the main area. These should... Perhaps someone's blocked it up, but there should be a pathway somewhere here. Ha, there it was. Apparently I just didn't look or didn't notice it in this corner. Excellent, right. Whew, we've made it back. And here I am, once again in another noisy place with the volume turned down. I unfortunately died. I killed the wither, but then I auto-tabbed away and I'd forgotten to eat, so the wither effect got me. But luckily, I got all of my items back, and it's getting late in the day, and I feel like it's a warning sign that we should probably call it there. I wanted to get all of them, and I think there's only about 10 to 15 left, but we'll have to save it for another episode. So back here at the XP farm, our latest and greatest project, you'll see I've kind of started to expand things a little bit, and over here we have the new El Mango design, which we'll get to in just a second. The only curious thing to talk about is these corner bits right here. As you can see, I've just kind of switched the layout around the corner, but there is this old Minecraft problem which I don't think has a solution unless you go into creative mode and use block states. So what you want to do is continue the pattern but have it wrap into the corner. So that one there needs to turn into the inside, which I don't think you can do in survival. So because of that, we have ended up with this... Oh, I've got a block up there, haven't I? To finish my sentence, we have ended up with this configuration right here. And we're going to take the water streams behind the furnaces here and bring them around the side. And I think I'm going to have a module here, but on the opposite side I'm going to do something a little different because I've got the farms over there and whatnot. But anyway, here is the new design right here. It is way more compact. In fact, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison right here. So there you go. That's the old design against the new design, and what's even better about the new one is that it works the same way, but it stores more stacks of cactus overall, which means we get more experience points from it. So we will get at a very minimum 15 stacks from this contraption, so let's go in there and yank that out, and you can see not only did it repair the pick, it also gave us 10 levels of XP, which is far more superior. So I've been prepping more resources. I need some more pistons and observers. The amount we are putting into this project is absolutely bonkers, by the way, but we have to build another 3 of these modules. So we've got 1 on that side and 2 on this side over here. So with that taken care of, I am now diverting my attention to the entrance here. You can see that this formation goes up to the ceiling and kind of encloses some of the entrance here. Over on this side you'll see up the top here that actually the blocks go up a couple and you can barely see the lines of them, so that works really well. And we'll end up doing the same thing over here at the middle. So what I'm kind of left with is just figuring out how this corner here is going to transition. Okay, it's all done. It's all encased and enclosed, but this whole room has a secret now. As I walk around, I want you to see if you can figure out what the secret is, right? What's going on here? Oh. So last episode, I got a lot of comments about 2 things. One of them were the signs over here at Sahara. Many of you said that there was a limit of 9 things that you could buy at once, and I should read the signs. Well, this is me reading the sign, my friends. It says 27. 27 stacks max per purchase. Maybe that means 27 for one type of item. But there's no sign about 9 anywhere here. The second thing I received a lot of comments about was the stone pressure plate over here. So I've played this game for a long time, and every now and then I just make a silly mistake like this. Every now and then. Actually, it happens quite often. So yeah, it works with entities like the player, but not with item entities. Wooden pressure plates will do that, so that was entirely useless, but at the moment I'm not even using the system because the items don't get down to the end here. But when they do, they're actually going to end up going around the corner and then across this side, and then we need to get them over to the other two over there, the other two sets of these things. So when I go up and through here, you'll see essentially what I'm going to do is create some item elevators, which is why the wall is here, so there's just enough room to squeeze something in, I hope, and then send it up around because there's blocks we need to avoid in that space, and then around this corner and down to the other side. So last episode I said that this project was going to be big and crazy and it might take us a while, and it will take us yet another episode before we get this thing up and running, at least, I reckon. Anyway, this is where we're going to wrap it up for now. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, leave a like. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes on the last video. It was crazy to see all of those crazy numbers. Things are booming at the moment. It's really exciting to see. But thank you as always for your support, and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye-bye.